Hello and welcome back to another tier list video. So as promised, here I am again. Hopefully it's not been too long since my last one. I've gone through the list and I've made some groupings of what I think I'll be doing in the future. So in total I think I'm looking at about 12 videos. It's quite a lot, but like I said, I don't want them to be too long, and certainly if I'd done the whole thing at once I think it would have been very long indeed. So I've got my list in front of me. We're starting with birds. And straight away, first up is Ace. So I've never had Ace, but to be honest, I don't have a problem with his design at all. I don't really have much of a history with the birds. I think there's a few that I do quite like, and honestly, their silhouette is actually quite nice. I quite like sort of like the bird figure. I think it's quite nice. So I'm actually going to put him, I think, above Alfonso. I've never had him, but I wouldn't be upset to have him, and there's not too much to say, to be honest. On the other end of the spectrum is Admiral. Also, I've never had him, and this will be, I think, unfortunately, a reoccurring theme with the birds, but his face is kind of aggressive. I don't think he's a very friendly bird. And he's most likely a cranky. I'm not sure, but I believe he's probably cranky. Do I believe he should belong in D? I certainly don't. I don't think he's that bad. But having said that, I will put him quite low in the C's. Maybe even lower here than Ali. So I think that's about where he's going to go. I don't think he's as bad as some of the bears, so yes, I'm happy with that. So next up is Anchovy, and I actually kind of like Anchovy. He's got a very strange name, I'll give you that, but actually his design is kind of cute. I don't really mind him, and maybe in the future I should definitely try and find him and have him on my island, because I think I like him maybe not as much as Nate, but certainly a little bit more than Grizzly. So yeah, I really like him actually. I like his vacant eyes. I know sometimes I really dislike like vacant looking eyes, or just like dot eyes, but you know, it kind of works for him. I don't really know why. And next up is an interesting one, because I'm pretty sure he's called Jakey, but according to the list in front of me, his name is Jacob. So perhaps this is another one of those regional like differences, like the pig, is it Spork and Crackle? Yeah, I think he's okay, but he has the opposite of two vacant eyes in my opinion. Just the little dots, but I don't know, maybe it's the eyebrows I'm not really feeling. So I think I'm going to put him a bit lower. But maybe I think maybe in between these two. I think I like Paula slightly more. Yeah, I feel like that's about right. I think he could do with some improvement. And here is Jacques, I believe. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. But I see him an awful lot during my villager hunts. I'm very familiar with him. He has this kind of beachgoer vibe, kind of like lives in a camper van. And that's cool. Doesn't really suit the type of islands I tend to do, and that's probably like, you know, my circumstance. Like if I did like a very urban type town or type island even, I'm sure he would look fine. So, you know, depends on what you're into. For me, because of that, I suppose I probably like him more than Snooty, but less than Tutu, so that's where he's going to sit. Okay, and next up is Jay, and I actually quite like his design. I've just never had him, and I should probably try to have more birds, to be honest, because I don't mind them at all. I think the design is fine. I guess I wish there were probably a few more girls, but back to Jay. Yeah, he's okay. So you know what? I think I'm going to put him maybe right next to Anchovy. And do I like him more or less? I'm not super sure. I think Anchovy just beats him. I think maybe because of the colour scheme. The brown on brown is very sort of, I guess, simple, but also would go quite well in like a cottagecore, whereas Jakey's kind of a bit more vibrant, so probably wouldn't suit too many things. And here is Jitters. I really dislike him. He's got those vacant eyes, but because it's got the dark ring of green around them, it looks a little bit more menacing. He looks like he's a substance abuser. And the name Jitters as well. I don't know if that's a reference to something, but I imagine he's really twitchy. So in my opinion, he's going to be a D. And you know what? I think I might even put him in between Chow and is it Klaus here? Because I think I'd rather see Klaus, if I'm going to be honest. And here we have Lucha, and he's equally disliked by me. Even though I said I don't mind the birds, some of the designs just aren't that great for me, so I don't really dislike the idea of a bird jock, but his like lucha mask, it really doesn't suit a lot of islands. I think you'll be really hard pushed to find a good looking like island that would just suit him. Yeah, where am I going to put him then? Do I prefer him or Jitters? I guess I prefer Lucha over Jitters, but once again, I think he's going to go between Klaus and Jitters here. Okay, and here is Midge, and I'd say she's probably one of my favourite birds. I do quite like her, and I think I do like her more than Anchovy. And do I like her more than Jay? I think so. Ooh, where am I going to put her? Do I like her more than Nate? I think, you know what? I think she does deserve to be there for now. I do like her design, and I think she looks a lot better than a lot of the boys. But unfortunately, like when it comes to all of the girls, I don't tend to pick her up because there are a lot of good female normal characters again. So she's gonna go there, but maybe I should put more effort into giving her a go and seeing what she's like. And another vacant-eyed bird, and this is Peck. I quite like him. He's very simple, but perhaps he would look a bit nicer if he actually had some pupils in his eyes, because the plain white, I don't know, it's a look, but it's not a look that I kind of vibe with. So where am I going to put him? I think I like him more than Ike, but not as much as Grizzly. So the birds are kind of concentrated in a certain area over here in the mid or high to mid C rank, but maybe that will change a little bit when I get to Piper. So Piper, I actually really like her design. She's just plain white, so she doesn't look like much on this this background, or I guess she'll look better in the full view than she does in the icon. And I really like her. I believe she's snooty. Yeah, I definitely would pick her up, and I definitely would be happy to pick her up. So I'm actually going to put her right up here, so further than Ace. Yeah, I think she deserves to be there. Okay, and now we have Robin, and I feel like I tend to overlook Robin a lot. I believe she's a girl. I could be wrong. I tend to get Robin and Jay mixed up a lot, and I don't know, I just tend to overlook her a lot. So I kind of feel like because of that, she kind of goes in the snooty realm of me just kind of not remembering she exists. And she probably goes below because, again, I actually, know she exists, whereas Snooty, I kind of forgot about her. And I think Jacques just has a bit more character. I think that's fair enough for her. I just don't think she's very standout-ish either. So here we have Sparrow, and he also has that vacant look, which appears to be very common with the birds. But I don't think it looks very good for him. And to be honest, I think he kind of deserves to be, maybe right around here, between Sly and Ali, slightly above. Is it Admiral there? Yeah, he's not terrible. I do like his sort of like colour combination and his style, but I don't like his vacant eyes very much, and he just doesn't stand out much for me. And finally, one of the best ones in my opinion is Twiggy here. She's really cute. I do think she looks good. I do think she has, like, I think Peppy is her personality, which makes her a bit more unique. So yeah, where am I going to put her? I think I might put her, oops, not that far up, right there, right behind Piper there, and before Ace. So that is my bird list. No A's and no B's. maybe I'm a bit harsh on Piper, putting her in C, but because I've not had her, I kind of feel like I can't really like put her any higher than that. But that is my list for now. And now I'm going to move on to the cats and completely ignore the balls. The reason being is there are a lot of cats, and if I do cats, birds and balls, it will take all day. I'm going to move the balls alongside the cows and do them next time. So the very first cat on my list is Anchor, and even though I've never had her, I have actually always wanted her. I do play this game alongside my partner, and he happened to get Anchor over me, and so I graciously decided I wouldn't have her, because for some reason we like to have separate and different characters, different villagers. If you have a partner, do you do the same thing? I don't know if that's just unusual for us. Yeah, I always wanted her, and personally, I think she deserves to go all the way to the top. Maybe my first S, because her design is fantastic. She looks great. I love her like little outfit. Her house is not the best, but now we can fix that. That makes her all the more valuable in my eyes. And here we have Bob. So I have had Bob, and he's a lazy cat, and he's a great lazy cat. He's very classic in Animal Crossing, and I think that makes him very popular. I actually really like Bob, and I'm actually going to put him in A. So that's another high tier. I think the cats are going to go quite high up. I do love the cats. Nostalgia does have a large part in that. So, and here we have Felicity. I have never really had Felicity before, and I do think I should try and have her, maybe even on my next island. I really like her, and I kind of often do get her mixed up with Mary, I'm not going to lie, but I like her design. I think she's really cute. So I'm going to put her, I think, maybe like, maybe here. So not as high as Draco, but certainly above Megan and Zoe, because I would actually like to maybe have her at some point, and I feel like I should definitely give her a go. Okay, and next up is Kabuki. So Kabuki is very unique. I think he has I don't really know what his design is based on, but I think he has a very Japanese house, and so I don't know if he's meant to be sort of like a very traditional Japanese figure with like, I don't know, almost like war paint. I don't really know, so I'm sorry. But if you're doing like a Japanese themed island, I'm sure he looks amazing. But for me, he's not really my style. So where am I going to put Kabuki? I feel like I should probably put him between, and this is an area that I keep using quite a lot today, but sort of here, just above Ike. I don't like him a great deal, but then again, I do respect that he probably would look good in, you know, quite a few themes, and as a cat, cats just look great in my opinion. I'm just going to pop down slightly here so I can see the top of their ears, and hopefully that's enough for me to identify them. So I still want to see most of the screen. And who is this? Is this Cat? I think it is. Little peek. Whoop. Yep, definitely Cat. So I don't really like her. I know I said the cats do look great, but to be honest, I don't think she deserves to be in D. But yeah, I think where I put her there is kind of fair, in my opinion, where I think she belongs. She's not the prettiest thing. I think she's sisterly, so that's, you know, that's fine. I do quite like Cicely as a personality. She just doesn't have a very friendly looking face. So I believe the next one is Kid Cat, if I'm not mistaken. And Kid Cat is one of the superhero ones. I do quite like them, and I think Kid Cat is probably my favourite superhero, I guess, villager of the group. I do like him more than Kabuki, so where am I going to put him? I think Kid Cat deserves to be maybe a very high C, maybe even above Ace, so just below Twiggy there. But I really do like him. Like I said, I think he's my favourite of the superhero ones, so he's going to go there, a high C in my opinion. Next up, I'm having to have a little peek, and it's Kiki. So Kiki, I know she's quite popular, but I do wonder if it's because she's the only sort of black cat, and I'm not a big fan of like her really like round nose. I'm sorry. And I kind of wish there was another black cat character which kind of just, you know, worked as a black cat. So I know black cats are quite common to have, and I'm sure if you have one, you quite like the character Kiki. yeah, I would prefer a softer looking black cat face, maybe with not just pure circle eyes and like a very dark, difficult to see nose. That might just be me. I'm really sorry. I don't even know if I would really have Kiki on my island if I did a Witchcore Island, which is probably blasphemy considering she's a black cat. I can't say I'm sorry enough times. I'm really sorry. Where do I think she belongs? To be honest, kinda low C. Not as bad as Cat, certainly, but maybe between these two. So Charlize and Ursula. So yeah, once again, it's just my opinion. So if you like her more, I get it. I really do. I just wish maybe her character looked a little bit more cute. Okay, and next up is Kitty, and I like her design. She kind of looks like a teacher or a secretary in my opinion. I don't really know why I have that opinion of her. It might be like the eyeshadow, I don't know. But do I like her? I do. I'm not sure how much I like her though. I feel like maybe, certainly above Kabuki, but maybe not above Anchovy. And maybe not even above Jay or Grizzly. So I kind of feel like above Kabuki, but maybe one. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. She's not particularly like eye-catching, and there are some really nice cats, so unfortunately that's where she goes. Speaking about nice cats, here we have the cutie, and certainly one of my favourites, Lolly. I think she's got such a cute design. I think she's got like that silver tabby. I don't really know my cat's great, but I think she's a silver tabby. And you know what? I think she deserves at least an A. I don't know if I can put her above Bob, to be honest. Even though she's really cute, Bob just has that sort of like I said, nostalgia factor, which kind of pushes him a little bit higher. But she is super cute, and I think she deserves to be there. So next up is Mary, and if you've never seen Mary, she's super cute. She does have a very interesting double chin. I don't know why they decided to put a little chin on her for her character, but I don't think I can do her too bad, because actually her design is nice and it is unique, so I think rating it too far low isn't going to be very fair. I would say a high C, maybe below Kit Kat though, and above Kitty, so in between there. I think she deserves to be maybe just below Nate, because the two interesting ones to go together, the big giant green unibrow and the double chin, so together they have their uniqueness, but that's where she's going to go for me. Okay, so next up is Mitzi here. I love Siamese cats. Because of that, I of course will rank her quite high. Maybe not above Lolly though. Lolly's really cute. I feel like design-wise, Lolly is the superior cat, but I really like Mitzi, so I feel like I'm going to put her, maybe a high B, like the highest B I can get. But not quite an A, since I want to keep the A's very sort of like my faves, you know, close to my heart. So I do like Mitzi, but at the same time, design-wise, I do think the others are a bit better. So next up here is Mo, and Mo has a very sad looking face, but I don't have a problem with that. I think he actually looks kind of cute. I don't think he's particularly popular, but I do kind of like him. I think he's really cute. So where am I going to put Mo? I kind of feel like I'm going to put him maybe slightly above Mary, but not super. So having said that, am I going to put in between? Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to break up the couple of Mary and Nate, because I do like Mo, even though he's got very unique eyes to the point where they kind of look like they go on forever. I do think he's got kind of a cute face, and I don't really mind him. Some people probably don't like him at all, but I like him slightly more than Mary, but less than Nate, so that's where he's going to go. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, and now we have the unique Monique, and you know what? I don't mind her. Is she kind of ugly? Kinda. You know, sometimes they try too hard, and this is one of those opinions where I think maybe the design went a bit too far. A little bit less would have been a bit more, in my opinion. So where do I think she belongs? I don't think she's the worst. I certainly don't think she belongs to be in D. Do I like her more than Kat? You know, maybe I do, but it's not by much, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't think I can go any further than that. I think that's as far as I can give her credit for. Is she meant to be like Marilyn Monroe? I could be wrong. She kind of has this vibe to her. I don't know if it's the eyebrows, but and I guess the beauty spot. But yeah, it kind of feels a little bit off at the same time. Okay, and moving on, we have Olivia, and Olivia is also kind of Siamese. She doesn't have like the full sort of like face mask that Mitzi does, but she does certainly have the paws, like the socks type thing that cats do have. So I quite like her. I certainly like her more than Monique. I think her little beauty spot looks a lot more, I don't know, natural. And yeah, where am I gonna put her? This might be controversial because, you know, I don't think she's a particularly popular character, but I like her more than Roswell. So, you know, maybe even a little bit more. So more than Pango, so up she goes. That's quite high, and that probably will be contended, but I actually quite like her, so that's where I think she belongs. And moving on to Punchy. I think Punchy's really cute. I like Punchy. And I have had him, and I really enjoyed having him. I think I like Punchy quite a bit, maybe even more. I think he's going to be in B. Do I like him more than Annabelle? Oh, I think he belongs next to Boots. I really like him. I think his character looks fine. It's very simple, it's very subtle. He has this sort of half eyelid thing, and I think it's cute. So yeah, that's where I think he belongs. So moving on, and we still have plenty of cats. This is Pearl, and I think she's okay, but I think they did her eyes upside down. I think her eyelashes should have been at the top and not at the bottom, and because of that, it's kind of a shame, but I think I'm gonna put her slightly below Ike. So Kabuki at least looks put together. Pearl kind of just looks a little bit off. I feel like she's almost there, and I quite like her sort of calico look, but I just wish that she had normal eyes and didn't look like she was looking off into space. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna put her. There are a lot of cats, and she doesn't really stand out too much in my opinion. And speaking about standing out, we have Raymond, and of course Raymond has to at least be an A. He is so popular, and I think rightly so. He has a very unique look. He has those dual coloured eyes, they're very nice. Being a grey cat as well, I think is very, you know, he kind of goes in the realm of Marshall. So where am I going to put him? I think I can't put him in S. I will put him in A. I think maybe he belongs just below Teddy, to be honest. So that is very high. Once again, I've actually not had him myself. This is one of my partner's villagers, and I was very jealous when he got Raymond and I didn't. So I'm sure he probably would have been higher if I had got him for myself, but yeah, I really like him. And another one of my favourites is Rosie. Rosie I did have, and Rosie I love. Great design. She's also one of the main characters in the Animal Crossing movie, and she's got a great peppy personality. So I think I like her more than Bob. Am I going to put 3 cats in a row? No, because I'm going to put her right behind Raymond. I'm going to have Gale in between them. And so we have Rudy. Rudy I've not had. I believe he's a jock. Rudy, I think he's quite a nice character. I think he's kind of cute. I know some people don't like him. I don't know why. I think maybe because he's a little bit vacant, maybe? But at least he has like full eyes and doesn't have like, you know, little dots. So where am I going to put him? I think maybe right next to Kit Kat, but not above him. So that is pretty high in the cats. I would like to have him, and so that probably does influence my opinion as well. So yeah, that's where I think he belongs. And next up is Stinky. I am not a big fan of Stinky. Is he gonna go in D? Is he gonna be the first cat in D? Absolutely. He is going to be the first cat in D. But even though he's got the mask thing, and like I did say about Lucha, it is slightly better. So it's slightly, I don't know why, I think it looks slightly better. He's going to be a high D, but still a D. Does it look like he's wearing a pair of underpants on his head? It definitely does. So that's a bit concerning. But yeah, just design wise, I think maybe because he's a cat, he has to be a high D. I can't really put him in the low D. So finally, Tabby, who's equally as upsetting to me. I don't like her. I know her and Kat tend to be sort of like put together quite a lot, but actually I kind of dislike her, slightly more, but at the same time I kind of think she should be right next to Stinky. So do I like her more or less? I don't really know. I feel like I might get used to her face after some time, but honestly, she deserves to be in D, so that's where she's gonna go. And we're almost done with the cats, so second to last is Tangy, and I love Tangy. I have mentioned this plenty of times. Where am I going to put Tangy? This is starting to get difficult. She's peppy, and I think her design is really cute. So, and this is pretty high, right up here. Ooh, just below Rosie. But I do like her more than Gail, I like her more than Bob, and I like her more than Lolly. So, is that quite high? Maybe, but at the same time, she has a special place in my heart. And finally, the last one, and the last one here is Tom. He's quite nice. I actually quite like him, you know, Tomcat. He's quite cute. And as Crankies go, he's quite a nice design. So, where am I going to put him? I do think I like him more than Mary, more than Mo. So, I feel like I'm going to put him maybe near Roswell, but just above Pinky. And I believe that is my full cat list. I might have to make my screen slightly smaller for next time, and I'm sure this is just going to get larger and larger, so that's a problem for later me to deal with. And there's a pop-up. Let me get rid of that. So thank you very much for watching another one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you agree or disagree with anyone, let me know if there's any of your favourites here, or if I've put any of your least favourites. What do you think of these least favourites? Do you think any of them are undeserving, or do you think any of my C's should have gone a bit lower? Please let me know, and I'll see you next time with another one of these, probably not too far in the future. So thank you very much, and goodbye. Remember, MumsyWord.